brother.
God. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem,
Hakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salakia. Who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations also all the Akim. You brothers preaching this word in truth and in sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And shalom unto the hopeful elect. You sincere believers scattered wherever you may be. This is the brother Yaikwab.
Yo, what's up?
From the Gary branch of Great Millstone, coming to you with another lesson. Lord willing, this be edifying. All right, we're just going to touch on this book of Sirach, chapter 1, starting at verse 2, and Lord's will, we can go down to 16.
This is book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 1, and verse 2. Who can number the sand of the sea and the drops of rain in the days of eternity? Who can find out the height of heaven and the breadth of the earth and the deep and wisdom? Wisdom have been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting.
And who is this? Who can number the sand of the sea, the drops of rain in the days of eternity? All these different things, it has to be the Most High, Yahweh. We can grab the Isaiah, because it links right up with it. He to be, he is. You know, he is the almighty power that could do these things. You got it, bro?
This is Isaiah 40 and verse 12. Who have measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out heaven with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and the hills in a balance.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to skip down?
Con.
You said 22?
Con.
And then 28. Skip down to verse 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers. That stretched out the heavens as a curtain, and spread them out as a tent to dwell in. Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
Skip down to verse 28. Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting power, the Lord Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding.
Con. That's the thing, man. He just is. He's the existing one.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put a cap on the Most High. He's literally the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it is mighty too. That's how you could tell too that it's not no fucking flat earth. It says he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and also the earth hangeth.
All right.
You know, but it said the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers. So you think like in the sight of the Lord, you know what I'm saying, where the grasshoppers go to and fro on the earth compared to his magnitude, you know.
All right.
It said the earth is his footstool. But, you know what I'm saying, it's mighty that it's just he's the creator of these things, and what it said, he fainteth not, neither is weary. Think about all the things that he's in control of, you know, and it's still not that much for him.
All right. No, that's facts. Which one? You want to continue on the Ecclesiasticus?
Go back to it.
This is Sirach 1 and 5. It says, the word of the Most High. So like the word of God Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments.
Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying, will we not want to listen to this most powerful creator? You know, if he's the one that is behind all the creation, behind the wisdom, behind everything that we see, basically, because through him, you know what I'm saying, he gave the blueprint to Yahweh Shai, you know, and the angels to work. So you got to think his word, this living word that came via, you know what I'm saying, these godly men that were inspired by the Spirit, you know what I'm saying, through Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, to put in a book for us. We might as well pay attention and listen and try to basically live according to these words to best way we can possible. You know, it says the word of the Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. See, and that's the thing, because even in the kingdom, his word is going to continue, and we're going to have his law, statutes, commandments written within our inwards. You know.
Get this for you. This is Proverbs 1 and 2 in NLT. It says, the purpose is to teach people wisdom and discipline to help them understand the insights of the wise. The purpose is to teach people to live disciplined and successful lives to help them do what is right, just, and fair. These proverbs will give insight to the simple, knowledge and discernment to the young. You know, so that's what the Lord provides through wisdom, you know, discretion, knowing right from wrong, you know, what to say, discipline, you know, how to be just, you know, to give right judgment, you know, and to be fair.
Yeah, bro. Fine. And that's what we had from the beginning. And Lord's will, we can tap into that. But basically, like, through his word, well, we had the fear of the Lord upon us, you know what I'm saying, through Adam, you know, who was given that, essentially, like that oral law, right? Because we had the knowledge of good, but not evil until Eve was, you know what I'm saying, deceived by that serpent, who was a man. He wasn't an actual serpent.
Right. Just describing it.
Right. Just now, who we now know to be the so-called white man. You know, that spirit, that same spirit, the serpent, then is back in the earth now, played out through Edom. Right, but through the through the envy of the devil came in. Let me try to grab it. See, we fell away. Down to the spirit. Back in Wisdom of Solomon, or going to Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 24. It says, let me know when you're there.
Oh, no.
It says, nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. You see, and that curse of the death, you know, is still upon us through the fall, man. Because we were meant to live on eternal. That was the blueprint for us, and that's what we're going to revert back to in the kingdom of heaven. You see, but now, because we sin, there is death. Right, because of that envy, because Eve saw that enticing fruit, what the serpent was coming with, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You could imagine, like, how it went down in the garden.
Grass was greener on the other
right,
side.
she thought, like, and brother was sharing that clip on how dude was breaking it down with Adam and Eve, and she was like, she's like, well, what's the point? Or what she said, I forgot what she said. The brothers know what video I'm talking about, they know. But she basically proved the point, because they're steady searching for something new, something, a greater fix, so to speak. These women are never satisfied. Steady searching for power, try to seek power, hold some type of power.
Yeah, you going to Genesis 3. It said her desire is to be pretty much to want to rule over the man, you know, but won't.
Yeah. You see, but then again, it was all set up, you know what I'm saying, through Yahweh Shai's will that, you know, that we're made subject to vanity, and we're going to be in this position now. You know, we're in the learning ground, these learning stages. And, but in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to be perfect. We're going to be perfected. And we'll have that knowledge of both good and evil, being them gods.
Let's see where we at. Yeah. This is Sirach 1 and 6. It says, to whom have the root of wisdom been revealed, or who have known her wise counsels? Unto whom have the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest, and who have understood her great experience. There is one wise and greatly to be feared, and the Lord sitteth, Sirach is sitting upon his throne. He created her, and saw her, and numbered her, and poured her out upon all his works.
Mm-hmm.
She is with all flesh, according to his gift, and he hath given her to them that love him.
Yep, and it's all preordained, right? It said that it's a gift. So all these gifts coming from the Father of lights, and have given her to them that love him. If we could go to that Wisdom of Solomon, which ones are we holding?
7-16, 9-2.
I think it was 9 and 2. Let's see what that says. All right, because the Most High Yahweh created her, created wisdom, numbered her, and poured her out upon all his works. And like we were going into, he poured it upon Adam, which essentially was the fear of the Lord as well, right? Because the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. Like it tells you in Job 28. What was it? Oh, Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 9-2.
Yeah, this is it. You got it.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9, starting at verse 1. O power of my fathers, the Lord of mercy, who had made all things with thy word.
Boom, right there. That's the spirit. Because we had just said that it's through Yahweh Shai these things came about. What it say? Through him all things consist. I forgot it's in the New Testament. But again, because it's Yahweh that basically brought him to life. You know what I'm saying? The only begotten son. And then through Yahweh Shai, all the other spirits came about, and then they formed the earth.
Yep.
You know? You got it.
Verse 2. And ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made.
Mm-hmm. And that through thy wisdom, they had the fear of the Lord upon them. You know, and they had the dominion. It was once these animals, they looked at us and were fearful. You know. Yeah, something.
I'll probably get the word dominion. No, we're cool. We don't need to get that. We want to continue on?
Yeah, you can get verse 3.
Wisdom of Solomon 9 and verse 3. In order the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart.
You see, but we fell away from that. We fell away from our first estate. All right, we fell away from the judges, rulers, where we were supposed to be. You see, but now he's building up, you know what I'm saying, that spiritual temple, and eventually it's going to lead to the kingdom of heaven, where he's going to put back his son in his rightful place, being the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and also having his ruling government with him, right? How we always say underneath Yahweh Shai would be King David, underneath King David the 12, and then the 144,000, and the rest of the elect, and then the rest of Israel. We're going to be ruling or executing judgment with an upright heart.
Right.
Upright heart, meaning mind. Lob going into mind.
Mm-hmm. Let's see where we at.
You have some? Who that Wisdom of Solomon 7 and
16.
Nah, we don't need to grab that one. I think I might have been looking at something else. Yeah, we can go back. Maybe 22, but we can. I'll hold this one.
We damn near could get 22, because we just read, what verse was it? We would go back in Sirach.
And I'll hold this one. Sirach 1 and 10. That fucking sun's hot.
Sirach 1.
11.
Verse 11. The fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. It's a priest I want to get with that.
Okay. And you see how it ties in with the wisdom. You know?
Give me 1 second.
I want to make mention too, you know what I'm saying, how it said, she is with all flesh according to his gift, and he have given her to them that love him. The Lord had also mentioned what? To Jeremiah, I have known thee in the womb. All right, so like we were making a point of with the predestination, right? The Lord already knew. Well, the Lord created spirits, man, and every spirit has their lot that they're going to play out. And every spirit is either, well, you have the righteous spirits and then the wicked spirits. And they're going to do what they were meant to do upon this earth. You see, he put the spirit upon certain individuals. He loved certain individuals. And what? In turn, they're going to love Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So with us loving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he gave us that wisdom. Lord, when we're the men.
Kind of got that precept to match up with that Sirach. This is Proverbs 4. Learn that verse 8.
Okay.
It says, exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thy head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. You know, so when you embrace wisdom, you know, you become acquainted with it, you know, in a sense. You know, it's likened to, you know, jewels, you know, in the crown, you know.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's mighty. I was thinking when the Lord had said to us, I forgot what book it was, but he said along the lines of, this is your sight, this is the wisdom, this is your wisdom in the sight of the other nations. You know, we're basically the law, the word, the commandments. Right, this is what set us apart above the rest.
I can get that.
Yeah. Because literally the laws, the statutes, the commandments, what he gave us, basically the directions that he gave for us, that in itself promoted us over the nations.
Yep.
And he already chose us in spirit already. You see, but he gave it unto that particular nation, that people. And this is what these Christians don't get. And it's something as simple as that, but it literally says it right there.
Kind of got that for you. This is Deuteronomy 4.
Deuteronomy,
Starting at verse 6. It says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Yeah. And it said in the prior verse, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments. So that's what he was referring to. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. Yeah, you got it, bro.
Continuing on, it says, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Yeah. You see, but through that falling away and through the curses being upon us because of us and our disobedience, now these other nations is like, it ain't no great nation no more. We're under all these bywords. They think we're fucking stupid. All these different things. It really, too, Jake proves them right because of the folly that they're in. Like these 2/3 in America, gun-toting, dreads hanging, and you got the Northern Kingdom on the same bullshit as Southern Kingdom because the Southern Kingdom sets the standard, right? But Northern Kingdom on the same folly, just brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
Doing all manners of wickedness.
Moving like heathens.
Yeah, moving like Esau, Edom, their father. Snaking each other, popping popping their brother's wife, stealing, killing, you name it. They're doing it. They're involved in it.
For real.
That was it to that, bro. Where were we at? Back in Sirach.
Mm-hmm.
Sirach 1 and
13.
Okay.
Sirach 1 and 13. Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the days of his death. Let me get another precept to back that up.
Okay. You got it.
I think it's in the 2nd chapter.
Proverbs.
Uh-huh. I think it's right here. This is Proverbs 2 and 7. It says, he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. So when you walk in the way of the Lord and keep his commandments, and attain wisdom, he protect you, to the end,
Yo, what's that? Psalm 34 and 7 to back you up. And you can break it down, bro. It says, the angel of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
Yeah, so we got spiritual bodyguards all around us, the ones that fear the Lord, and you got to have that mindset, because just like, what was that, Elisha, it's more of us, than it is of them, The Lord has people around the clock, day to day, watching over us, So if you do the right thing, hey, you have nothing to worry about. You said that was Psalms 34?
Yeah, 34 and 7.
Okay.
Yeah, you gonna have them angels. Or an angel. Regardless, it's that protection.
Right.
Yeah, one angel slew I don't know how many men. Never did count.
You talking about with the Assyrian army?
God.
Yeah, that was mighty.
He sent that death angel out. And that's what man, bro. So you think the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivered them. You gotta have faith that that angel is gonna protect you from all manners of evil. And really, nothing could really harm you unless the Lord sanctions it. Right? Because he's the one that has the control and power. That's why we have to fear him and don't fear flesh and blood. Easier said than done because we're in the flesh, and you always have them what ifs that run through your head. But, we got to revert back to the scriptures. Just trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. Trust in him. Speaking first and foremost to myself, bro, because, man.
Oh, yeah.
1 and 14.
14. Sirach 1 and 14. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. So just like the brother said, faith is a gift, and he instilled that, to us in the womb, since the beginning, Continuing on, it says, she have built an everlasting foundation with men.
Fucking goofy.
Yeah.
Hope that nigga crash.
Nigga driving, standing 60 in the residential area.
Bro.
Nigga trying to kill somebody, bro.
That's the spirit though, you see? That's no fear. That's no fear.
No fear.
And that was Jake. That was Jake doing some fucking folly. And look at Jake with the skis. You can't make it up, bro. Bro, that's the Lord, bro.
Yeah, that's wild as hell. No wisdom, bro. Nigga driving
no
down there
wisdom.
70.
No fear.
What crib's at, bro?
It said my people does not consider. See, that's the difference with, hey, the men that fear Yahweh Shem Yahshua. And the woman too. You have your few sisters. But we consider, like, what could go wrong and what the Lord could do for our actions. We just, hey, bro, as simple as that. Like, bro.
Man, precept.
God,
Hosea 4:6.
you got it.
It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. You know, so the Lord, you know, he rejected most of our people, 2/3 of our people. You know, because they rejected knowledge, they rejected wisdom. So that being said, you know, he's gonna reject them and their children, you know, in their future generations. Yeah, we see 2/3 of our people, you know, running around like chickens with their head cut off.
Yeah, bro.
Just doing any and everything, following any trend, just because it seemed cool.
Yeah.
You know, cool to the flesh, but it's not always. It's not the things of this world. Most things of this world is not wise at all. You know.
Yeah, it said in Habakkuk, loosely paraphrasing, that thy law is slack, therefore judgment doth not proceed. You know, roughly, because we're in the land of the wicked. You know, the whole world life in wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's free game for this, free reign.
What is front loading? What verse is it?
What are you looking for?
I found it. Yeah, this is Genesis 6 and verse 5. It says, and God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. You know, and we're in that same exact time again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It says in the last days it's going to be just like the days of Noah. You know, and we right in that time. You know, people only think about evil, only think about lust, not moving around with a sound mind, you know, without wisdom. You know, so that being said, you know, the Lord's going to have to do something about it, you know. That's why, like I said, 2/3 of our people is going to get messed up, you know, severely messed up. And the 1/3, you know, the ones that try to be obedient and try to attain wisdom, you know, it's going to be preserved.
That's right.
And this is Sirach 1:16. To fear the Lord is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits.
Yeah, man, that's basically the point. It's just to fear the Lord is fullness of wisdom, because that alone we'll grab that, and we had quoted it yesterday. The fear of the Lord driveth away sins. Oh, it's in the same Sirach. You jump down to verse 21.
Sirach 1:21. The fear of the Lord driveth away sin, and where it is present, it turneth away wrath.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's and like the brother Noah had mentioned yesterday, man, that's the whole duty of man. It's very simple. It's simplicity and hamashiach. I just fear the Lord, keep His commandments. All right. So you fear the Lord, it's gonna drive away sins. You're gonna be offending less, right? And where it is present, it turneth away wrath, because now the wrath of the Most High is gonna be appeased, right? Because you're doing right. So there's no need for your father to whoop your ass if you're doing right. Well, if you're doing wrong, you know. But nonetheless, we're still gonna get whooped regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the purification and also our past sins within our past lives. But the point is now, man, we're repenting, trying to do so daily, and just trying to offend less, and just begging for his mercy, because at the end of the day, that's what we're searching for. That's what we're pleading for, praying for, because all of our righteousness is filthy as rags. There's nothing of our own doing that could save us. Our saving comes from the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Just to back you up, get that word that she brought to me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Metallurgy.
How do you, bro? Because I be saying metallurgy, metallurgy, metal. Does it say how to pronounce it?
Yeah, metallurgy.
Metallurgy.
This is the branch of science and technology concerned with the properties of metals and their production and purification. So that's the whole point what the brother was even saying about us, still, getting whipped by the Heavenly Father, or still going through affliction in this lifetime. It's for the purification of our bodies, and our bodies is likened to metal. The Lord says He's going to make us into fine gold, so we got to become purified, And
started within, too.
Yeah, exactly. The only way that could happen if you beat it down and you melt it up, to the point where it can be formed into the way that the Maker wants us to be in.
Metallurgy. Metallurgy.
You go down to the origin of it at the bottom. In the Greek, it says working.
Yeah, metal working. Damn.
And it's mighty, though, because we working for something right now. We working towards the kingdom of heaven. The only way that can happen, we become purified, through the Spirit.
Yeah, man, steady working. I get the, what it say that Isaiah 41 and 28? Because the Lord don't get weary. Something like
What's that, Isaiah 40? You want to?
Oh, we had just read it.
Mm-hmm.
Was that 41 or 42? I think it was 42. No.
Well, I got it in my phone somewhere. Give me 1 second. What's Isaiah 40 and...
Oh, 40.
What's later in the chapter?
28. Yeah. The creator of the ends of the earth fainteth not, neither is weary. Yeah, so just how we're working, right? We're working for that crowd. He's steady working on us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the same sequence, the same process. And forever. And talk about like Shamaria, like this life or this walk that we're in, and we're forever learning.
Mm-hmm.
We're forever learning. We can't become too comfortable, or get lazy minded, because it's a steady flowing waters, rivers of living life. You know what I'm trying to quote.
Yeah, that just that's your point. That's any craft, though.
Yeah.
Any craft or trade, you gotta keep on. What's the right word for it? You gotta keep on brushing up on certain things,
Mm-hmm.
Because you get too comfortable, you could end up losing it. Things are changing around you. Things evolve. And so shall you.
Mm-hmm.
So should you.
And anything else?
I think that's it, bro.
All right, so hey, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying and exhorting. Unto you again, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaKakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, teach well. Again, in peace and greetings unto the elect, to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Wa Ababa Ball.
Ababa Ball.
Wa Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.